Hello everybody and welcome to Plaid Stallion's Toy Ventures. And speaking of ventures, this is probably the biggest and craziest thing I'll do this year, as I have just recently returned from my first ever exhibitor space at San Diego Comic-Con. When my friend Robin approached me to share a booth last year, I said yes. I didn't even think about it. I thought, let's do it. And I really went in with no expectations of breaking table or anything like that. I just wanted to take the plunge and see what happened, and it was a really interesting trip. It did not get off to a good start. I had bad travel and my stuff got lost. However, by Friday afternoon I was rocking and rolling and feeling really good about myself, and that was mainly due to the really positive vibe and experience I was having there. Everybody was so cool. Now, I struggled with what kind of video to make. I don't really collect new toys that much, and I can't compete with the coverage of Action Figure Insider or Pixel Dan. I don't collect comic books, but there were vintage toys at San Diego Comic-Con, and I was able to use my exhibitor pass to give you a peek behind the scenes. This is Comic-Con After Dark. So I filmed a segment in my friend Mark's booth that I'm going to go to. Then I'll show you a montage of all the vintage I saw that was interesting. And I'll show you what I got, and then we'll end with my takeaway on the whole thing. So, without further ado, here's my Comic-Con experience. Hey everybody, and welcome to Toy Ventures. This is a little more guerrilla style, as I am at San Diego Comic-Con, and it is after dark. And I am at one of my friend's booths, Mark Huckabone of Heroes West Coast, and he's brought some amazing stuff. And I thought it would be fascinating to go through this stuff now that the hall is empty. And as a side bonus, you get to watch how much work goes into these booths at San Diego, and you might pick up some fun banter here. But I could watch this all night, and I know because I did last night, and I thought this would make for a really fun, quick San Diego episode for Toy Ventures. I don't know what else to do but cover vintage toys here. So let's go through his cases, and I'll just point out some of the more interesting things. We've got some Motu or He-Man, and we've got the Imperial Toy Classic. What's going on? There we go. Imperial Toy Classic Alien. Rude Ralph, I guess that's a Mad Ball. But then we get into stuff like this. This is the LJN prototype Michael Jackson doll. That's pretty amazing. And I'm assuming they changed that skin tone because that's way too dark. Then we've got a Yoda prototype head. I'm not sure what from. And of course, I've done a Toy Ventures on this thing. This is the Combat Joe Godzilla from Takara. Very, very welcome. Before we go down, I want to go up. We've got the Mork and Mindy, which is just Big Jim's truck, because Mindy drove a Jeep, if you're familiar. And then way up here, we've got the Empire Toys Batman helicopter and a Faboplasta Batmobile from Italy. I hope I got that. Let me just do that. I apologize. The editing is going to be guerrilla style here. Then we've got the Process Plastic Activated Superheroes. And as you guys remember, a couple weeks ago I did an episode about these. And Mark has not only the boxed set with the Captain America truck, or similar one that I got, he also has like 6 figures on the card, and I'm pretty sure that 6 figures is the price, so I'm not even going to ask him on those. Awesome finger puppet of Grover, and those are from Child Guidance. And then we've got Mego Micronauts. These Mark got from a former Mego designer named John McNett. You can read about him at the Mego Museum. John McNett's personal collection was from Mego's showroom, and those are actually factory shrunk wrap Micronauts. You don't see those too often. Got a couple of Ben Cooper costumes. I'm not familiar. I think it might be JFK and Jackie Onassis. Some rack toys.
You want a chopper?
Then we get into some Mego and some Remco and of course, a Remco monster. Got the Batman pen. Ooh, they're turning out the lights. This really cool Batman cycle. There's a Gulliver boat with, you know, Captain America and Spider-Man are going fishing in a speedboat. It's kind of cool. Micronauts Nemesis, Baron Karza, Force Commander Oberon. More rack toys.
He's not here!
Can you put sold on it?
And then we've got Hornetroid and the Mad Monster Castle from Mego. And check this just over here. These are amazing Sesame Street figures from Mexico, I believe. And Mark is a big Sesame Street fan. These are vending machine tokens. I've talked about these on the show before.
Honey,
There's the red falcon.
You said you wanted turtles right there.
This is a really cool Batmobile. This is the Planet of the Apes Sips figures from Mexico as well. Unfortunately, Mark only has one, and it is the rarest one, but it's not one I need. But this is pretty awesome to see. You do not see bills in the box very often. We've got a Jointed Hero, the classic yellow vest Mego Green Arrow, and then above here we've got some of the Justice League, Ideal Justice League figures. And these are the villains, you know, the Key, and I can't remember the helmet guy's name for the life of me. Is it Brainwave? Anyways, then you've got the actual Ideal Justice League, something I tried to put together once and failed, and the Ideal Batcave. More Mego, superheroes. There was a carded Tomland Dracula in here, and I'll put it up later. It's not here now. I don't know if it's moved. This is pretty awesome. These are original pulls of the mold of the Remco creature from the Black Lagoon, and these were from the original sculptor Ken Scheller. I used to have these. These are little glasses you would get, and you could put stickers on them. There's Spider-Woman and a Thing. Those are vending machine things. I'm totally going to buy that Spider-Woman off Mark. And then the other thing I'm really eyeing in here, not this bat boat, but I do need a boat, because there is a Chem Toys Jaws on the card, and that might have my name on it. I'm not sure. Here's a talking Palatoy bat phone. We've got some more boxed Mego World's Greatest Superheroes. This is a boomerang. I don't even know where that's from. That's pretty amazing. And of course, I've had this before, the Rayline Batman with Shoot. And then we've got the AHI Penguin and Joker. And then we go down again and look. It's the original proof card for the Mego World Greatest American Hero, which actually never came out. It's pretty amazing stuff. There's a beautiful Gans Ernie in the box. And we've got some comic action heroes, another line that I'm obsessed with. Not only does he have a really beautiful bat set, but he's got this lovely board game as well, the Denny Fisher board game. And this one's in really nice shape. You could actually play it, unlike mine. Then we have a case of 36, was it Belloc and Robes? The mail-away figure I don't think any kid mailed away for. Oh, that's great. That's Little John from the Mego Robin Hood series. We did a video on that a long time ago. And these are great. These are... Whammo made some wonderful bendies of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Dudley Do-Right. I love those characters. Let's see if I can slip inside without annoying people. There's still some deal making going on in here, and this will go on into the wee hours. But there is some really neat stuff in here. As you can see, there's some just a mix. These are original Sesame Street Knickerbocker rag dolls. And look at these sets. Look at these child guidance finger puppet sets. I haven't seen these in the box since I was a little kid. And those are just fantastic. And speaking of little kid, this is the Palitoy UK version of the Mego Starsky and Hutch car. It's different. It doesn't have the motorized thing, but the box is such a banger. The UK artwork is so amazing. They had so much talent in Leicester. Oh wow, I'm in here by myself, so I can get a little more done here. Here's a wonderful Wonder Woman. Megos with flyaway action. We've got Jor-El, Luther, and Superman from the movie. And who's this? Oh, the Klingon. Actually, that's one of Mego's better 12-inch figures. And then we've got the Mego superheroes. 12-inch Batman, pretty common back in the 80s. And the Mego Planet of the Apes Fortress and Enterprise. But then down here we've got this wonderful Spanish Vicma Sherlock Hemlock puppet, which I've never seen before and really kind of want now. And these are Mexican Bert and Ernie's, or Beto e Enrique, which sounds so much better.
You want Batman stuff?
What's that?
You want Batman stuff?
No, I'm just looking around.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just I'm waiting for Mark, and I thought I would just go through his booth and put it on YouTube.
Yeah, we're all waiting on Mark right now.
This is a good one, that Denny Fisher Comic Action Heroes.
Ideal playset.
Oh yeah, I got that earlier. Yeah, that was awesome.
That's mine, and then I got the over there. I've got we got the Micronauts over in the other glass case.
Oh, the Oberon and Baron Karza and all that. Oh yeah, that's your stuff. I didn't notice it there earlier.
Did you see the Takara Combat Joe?
I sure did. Oh yeah, yeah. That was the dream piece for a long time for
dude,
me.
yeah, right.
Yeah. So. Oh, look at these. You got
he's got all
the Durham MASH figure of, everybody wanted an Alan Alda doll as a kid. And then we got, oh yeah, Cornelius, Aquaman, good group, and Sylvester. And then we've got an original Mattel 78 catalog. I have this. I wish I didn't, because I would buy it. And a Superpowers fan club kit for $500. And it's actually Mark Huckabone sent away for these back in the day. That is amazing. Just amazing. The foresight. And Boy George. Good to see him. I'm just going to sneak across. That's cool. Thanks. It's never complete. My wife used to say a toy show was never complete until you found the Burger King doll.
Oh, there you go.
And there he is. And we got
complete.
the WKRP in Cincinnati set from Vanity Fair. And
Probably the only WKRP toy ever made.
yeah, I can't imagine another. Unless somebody made a radio. But I don't even think Vanity Fair did.
Not that I know of.
The Ultraman Clash and Thrash City, which is a really cool toy from the early 90s. We've got a SWAT van, and I swear I have a different version of that SWAT van. I didn't know there were two out there. Flash Gordon playset from Mego. The Fisher-Price Castle, the Charlie's Angels van. And I'm going to wrap this video up by showing a few things on this table, if I can. I don't want to make a mess of anyone's deal, but we've got this lovely Poppy Gotcha Man, Eagle Ken. Did I say Gotcha Man? Wow, I had no idea. Batman looks so happy. And yeah, oh, there's a classic rack toy. The Cylon glasses.
I come in a minute, but then.
Hello, welcome to San Diego Comic-Con. It is closing time. We're getting kicked out. This is Mark Huckabone from Heroes West Coast.
Hello, how are you?
And I wanted him to talk about two of the coolest pieces at his booth. That is the Tomland, Famous Monsters of Legend, Dracula, on the card. You have no idea how much that makes my knees weak, but I have kids in college. How many of these are in the world, Mark?
Well, let's see. You probably know more than I would. Is this the only one?
This is the only one that's turned up, and this is the only one we believe is a salesman sample because the Dracula is slightly different than the factory one I have.
Yes, and I believe on this whole this entire series of monsters are the most rarest and most difficult ones to find.
Yeah.
In fact, I think Brian's one of two people that have a Wolfman and a Frankenstein loose. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I have a carded mummy, and I'm good. I'm really good.
I believe there's about 7 carded mummies out there.
Yeah, for some reason the mummy is the gateway Tomland, if you could call it that. But yeah,
this is the only Dracula known to exist on a card, and as far as we know, no one even knows what the Frankenstein and Wolfman card looks like.
No, and I hope that I find out someday.
This will bring somebody to dig these out.
Yeah. If you have this, call us.
Yes, we're definitely interested.
Yes.
Call me.
Now show me the Hulk.
Next we have...
Show me your pocket Hulk.
Yes. Next we have the Pocket Hulk, which is a Gulliver South American kind of different release of a Mego style pocket superhero, but it has a Superpowers logo, which makes it fascinating. And it's a Marvel character. So we have a DC Superpowers logo.
Yeah, I'm guessing by the art I drew in the 6th grade that this is not a licensed piece.
Yes.
Now tell me about this is Captain Ray, which is
Captain
what they
Ray,
took as Superman, right?
Yes.
And but this is the Abominable Snowman,
which is pretty awesome.
Which is just a Hulk painted in blue and gray, and it looks awesome. And I wish I owned one. But turn it around for a second. I also just love that somehow when they reproduced the figure, he got like a
big chest,
little peanut head.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And the body's bigger, so it's real similar to the Pocket Mego superhero, but it's different.
Yeah, they have screws in them, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
But what's cool about this too is you've got the Mego collectors, you have Superpower collectors, you have Marvel collectors, kind of all rolled in one here.
Mm-hmm. So you get what's that? $150?
Yeah. Oh yeah, cool, sure. Times a few.
Oh, damn it! All right. Well, thank you very much, Mark. I know we got to get out of here, and take care. You can check out Mark at Heroes West Coast. You're on eBay, right?
Yeah, Heroes. My store is Heroes West Coast. My seller name Heroes Online.
Heroes Online.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. There were about 8 to 10 dealers with vintage toys, and honestly, the thing that really caught my eye at first was this gorgeous Kamen Rider V3 Machinder by Popey. I've always wanted one of these, and to see it in person, I thought it was maybe fate. However, it was not cheap, and I didn't have that kind of money on me, so to me, it almost felt like a goal. Like if I could get over the funk of the first 2 days, make a few bucks, I would buy this for myself. However, I discovered on Saturday afternoon it had indeed sold. Womp womp. This really didn't bother me that much. I mean, getting this thing back in my suitcase would have been real fun. Also, I picked up a few fun things that will forever remind me of this positive experience. Let's go through them, shall we? One of the highlights for me was meeting some people that I've talked to for years, including Tim Barron. And it's been amazing to see Tim's climb. It's very deserved. He is a great artist and a hard worker. And of course, he did issue 3 of Toy Ventures for me, which really helped put us on the map, to be perfectly honest with you. I should be giving him presents, but he brought me one of his Astro Zombies. It's signed, and it's one I don't have, so I was grateful for it. He also gave me an awesome Halloween print that I will be putting up in the basement. It's kind of funny, I have a Tim Barron wall here because, I bought art from him and other things he's given me over the years, and I'm lucky to know him. I also got to meet Scott Tipton, and he gifted me this amazing Star Trek The Mirror War comic he wrote. I really super duper wish I had brought this on the plane. My first legitimate purchase was $20 for this pair of Dinky Star Trek vehicles. Now, as a kid, I did have the Enterprise and loved it. But what I found interesting was when I got this back to my table, this is not the Enterprise I had as a kid. They must have done a variation later on, because this one is bigger and actually has some interesting detail to it. And it's quite different from the carded one I picked up last year. I am a big fan of die-cast spaceship models, and I think this is about like my 4th Enterprise, but $10 for a vintage toy in this condition, all day long. On one of my rare voyages to the other boroughs of San Diego, I stumbled upon the Japanese section, which did have a fair amount of Godzilla merchandise, which I am a fan of. That's when I ran into this amazing Frankenstein Conquers the World statue. This movie had a big effect on me as a kid, and I still love it now, but I own 0 pieces of merchandise from it, mainly because there isn't a lot out there, but also I just never run into it. So when I saw this, and it was fairly priced, and in the baggie, I grabbed it. I am having some trouble taking it out of the baggie. It's a whole process with me, but I do plan to put this on my bookshelf so I can see it every day because I love this movie. Like I promised in the video, I did end up buying those Bubblegum Machine Marvel Comics glasses. I bought not only the Spider-Woman, but I couldn't leave the Thing all by his lonesome, so I grabbed him as well. It was very on brand for me. I love vending machine toys, and these ones are a really special memory. I don't think I got out of a grocery store with any of my money or my grandmother's money or my mom's money. I was a sucker for this kind of stuff. I think I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for more of these. I'd like to complete the set. Yeah, so I bought that boat. It just kind of spoke to me. There's just something so inherently silly about this, and I love the little rubber action figures of Captain America and Spider-Man that are clearly meant to go on bikes, but they shoved them in this boat and they decaled it up. This is just a gorgeous, colorful toy that I absolutely adore. There's nothing sensical about this. I don't think Spider-Man and Captain America go fishing together, but who cares? This is awesome, and it is hard not to take it into the tub. This next item is actually kind of funny because I'm pretty positive I sold this to Mark like 10 years ago. This is a Denny Fisher Comic Action Heroes figure. This is the UK version, and they are slightly different from the American and the Canadian cards. And at one point in my life, I think I had about half of the Denny Fisher set when I realized that it wasn't that important to me to complete. So it got thrown in a massive trade with Mark for something I really wanted, and I always regretted not keeping one example. I was happy with not having the set, but they're so different and unique. Now I have one example of it in my collection. And to tease, I did pick up an incredible item that solved a mystery for me, and it's something I'm going to be bringing up on a Vintage Mego soon. It's About a year, I discovered something in a trade catalog. I didn't know what it was, and to see a physical example of one, well, it just blows my mind. And you'll get more of that in the next Vintage Mego episode I do. I promise I will do that in the next couple of weeks. So when I got to San Diego, I was in a pretty rough state, and I worried that it was going to ruin the trip for me. However, something really interesting happened. While I was sitting at the table waiting for my stuff to arrive, I started listening to some of the conversations going on, and it kind of rubbed off on me. It was infectious how happy these people were, and how excited they were to be there, and how friendly they were being. Sure, there's lots of crowds, and shoving, and bad pizza, and body odor, but when it came to the one-on-one interactions and the overhearing, I was just stunned by the kindness that was being shown everywhere in this building. And that is really a testament to San Diego. It left me in a better place than it found me. And despite working a trade show for 4 days, I feel a bit recharged. On top of that, it was really great to reconnect with my friend Robin. This is a long way from our days at the Mego Museum. And it was great to be there as we present our new chapters in our lives. I really enjoyed that. It was fantastic. Robin does amazing work on everything she does. I saw some familiar faces from Mego Meet. A lot of folks popped by to tell me they liked the podcast, or they love the channel, or Toy Ventures. And well, I'm really grateful for that. It was not lost on me. It gave me a lot to think about, and I truly appreciate that. That's all the time I have for Toy Ventures this week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new to this, please consider hitting like and subscribe. We do this every week. And of course, if you miss me in San Diego, you can always catch me at Mego Meet ZoloCon in Warminster, PA, August 16th to 17th, and I will be giving out free Lincoln Monster Club buttons while supplies last. Thanks, everybody. Until next time, be well and talk toys, not others. Cheers.